so we're going to go into parallel lines. Right before we went on to break, we were going over how to write linear equations and slopes and all those little things that we were going to need for parallel lines on the coordinate plane. So what are parallel lines? Parallel lines are two lines that never intersect. Okay, so the symbol for parallel is going to be two lines that are straight up and down, and they're a little bit thicker than normal. I wouldn't say they look like L's, but they're kind of side by side, so you can see them right here. That's the symbol for parallel. Now here it says in the coordinate plane, parallel lines have the same slope. The slope of LM, line LM, is -3. So here's LM, and the slope is -3. So because it goes down 3 and to the right 1, the other line also has to follow the same pattern so that they can never intersect. So the slope of NP is also going to be -3. Okay, so if they have the same slope, then you can say that the two lines are parallel. So then they write a little statement here. It says line LM is parallel to line NP. So that's how you read that out. So let's go ahead and look at some of the examples. It says use a point mark to find the slope of each line, then answer the question. So we have three lines. We have A, B, and C. They already marked points on here for us, so we're just going to count the rise. So the rise here is 1, 2, and our run is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so our slope here is going to be 2/5. And we look at line B. Okay, so the rise is going to be 1, 2, and 3, and then it runs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our slope here, although these lines look parallel, when you count their slopes, you can see that the slopes are not the same. So A is not going to be parallel to B. So let's go ahead and find the slope of the last line. So we have C. We're going to use the two given points that they give us to count the slope. So the rise is 1, 2. And our run is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 2/5. So the two lines that have the same slope are going to be A and C. So if we look at our answer choices, our answer choice would be D, which lines are parallel, A and C only, because B has a different slope. I'm sorry, guys. My fire alarm needs to be switched out, so you're going to hear a little beeping here and there. All right, so it says draw line B passing through the point -3, -4, and is parallel to line A. Okay, so they want us to draw this line, okay, line B. They tell us it has to pass through this point, so I'm going to go ahead and graph this point. So -3, -4 would be down here. And then it says that it has to be parallel to line A. So in order for it to be parallel to line A, it has to have the same slope. So I'm going to find the slope of line A. Its rise is 1, and our run is 1, 2, and 3. So the slope of line A is 1/3. So then for point B, I'm going to do a rise of 1 and a run of 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and connect those two dots, and this would be line B. Okay, so that's not where they want us to stop. They also want us to write the equations of the line. So we're going to have to refer back to writing the equations of the line. So the formula to write the equation of the line is y equals mx plus b. Okay. And for m, we're going to have to find m by using the slope. So we know the slope of both of them are 1/3. Okay. And then we have to find b. B stands for the y-intercept. So if we look here for y-intercepts, here our y-intercept for line A is 1. And here our y-intercept for line B is -3. So now we're ready to write the equation of the line. So it's going to be for line A is going to be y equals, instead of m, I am going to put a 1/3 x plus, and then our y-intercept is 1. Okay, and then for line B, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to do y equals, our slope is the same. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope. So 1/3 x. And then this time our b is negative. So instead of having a plus, we're going to have a minus, and it's actually a -3. So it'll be -3. And that's it. So let's go ahead and try this again. Just a different problem. It says draw line B passing through the point -4, 1. So that's where we're going to start, is by drawing the point. So -4, 1 would be right here. And so we're trying to make a parallel line to line A. So in order for us to figure out what the slope is, we're going to have to count the slope of line A. So it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it goes to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5/4. And it is going to be negative. So line A is going to be -5/4. So that means for line B, it is also going to have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then to the right 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we connect our dots. Put a little B here for line B. Sorry, my line is crooked. It's kind of hard to make lines with this pen. And we're ready to write the equations of our line. So for line A, it's going to be y equals, our slope is -5/4. And then we're going to put the x and then plus b. Okay, and here our b is our y-intercept. And our y-intercept for line A is going to be a +3, so +3. Okay, for line B, we're going to do y equals, our slope here is -5/4. Whoops. And then x. And then our y-intercept here is negative, so it is going to be minus, sorry, my pen is not ready for some reason. Oh, x, and then it is a -4. So it's going to be -4. And that's it. It should have been plus. All right. So here it says determine which of the following equations are parallel to y equals 2/3 x plus 7. Answer yes or no. Okay, so first, if we are looking for a parallel line to this one, we have to identify the slope. So the slope is the number being multiplied with the x. And we're going to go ahead and compare it. So we're going to look at the first one. And here we do see a 2/3 here. So this is going to be a yes. Okay, we find the slope on the next one, and this says -2/3. -2/3 is not the same as +2/3. So we're going to put here no. And then the last one, this one is not written in slope-intercept form because it has this 3 being multiplied by the y, and the y should be by itself. So in order for us to figure out what it is or what the equation of the line is, we do have to get rid of that 3 by dividing by 3. And we're going to get y equals, because the 3's cancel out here, and we're going to get 2/3 x minus, you have to divide not only the 2 by the 3, but the 1 by the 3 as well. So now that we got this in slope-intercept form, we can identify that the slope here is a number being multiplied with the x, and it is a 2/3. So yes, this one is also parallel to the given line. All right, the next one, it says determine which of the following equations are parallel to 4x plus 5y equals 10. Answer yes or no. All right, so here I believe we had an equation from the last lesson. I'm gonna go back to it real quick. And if you guys recall, to find the slope when it's in that form, we use this one. M equals -a/b. I think, oh, it's right here. I don't know if you guys remember it. M equals -a/b. And so the a is a number being multiplied with the x, the b is a number being multiplied with the y, and then we don't need the c to find the slope. So we're going to go ahead and use that same formula. We're going to do -a/b. So let me go ahead and go back to our lesson. Okay, so this is going to be my a. My a is going to be 4, and my b is going to be 5. So my slope m is going to be -a/b. So -4/5. So if we look at the first one and we identify our slope here is 4. And so then that means that this is not parallel to that given line. So no. Okay, because we're looking for a slope of -4/5. We go to the next one. This is going to be our slope. It's a number being multiplied with the x. So then this one is going to be a yes. And then the next one, we're going to have to use the same formula. So m equals negative a over b. I'm going to write it out. And the a is the number being multiplied with the x. So m equals negative 8 over, and then the b is a number being multiplied with the y. So negative 8 over 10. Now that is not the same as negative 4 over 5, but if we simplify it, it does reduce to negative 4 over 5. Okay. So yes. Okay, so make sure you guys simplify to make sure, because it looks at first that the numbers are not the same, but it does need to be simplified. All right, we're almost done. Number 6, it says, write the equation in slope-intercept form of a line parallel to y equals 4x minus 3 and passing through this point. Okay, so we're looking for an equation that is parallel to this line right here. So in order for it to be parallel, it has to have the same slope, which is m equals 4. Okay, then we're going to do the exact same thing that we did last week, or the week before, where we have our y equals mx plus b, and we're trying to find the equation of the line, and they give us the slope m. So instead of m, I'm going to go ahead and write a 4. And we need to figure out what b is. We don't know what b is, and the way that we figure that out is by taking the given point. So they give us the point is negative 1 is our x value. So instead of x, I'm going to put a negative 1. B, we don't know. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to leave it as b. And then we're going to go ahead and plug in, instead of y, we're going to plug in a 2. So 2 equals 4 times negative 1. We know 4 times negative 1 is going to give us negative 4 plus b. We're going to move this negative 4 to the other side by adding 4 on both sides. And we get 6 equals, the 4's cancel out, and we get 6 equals b. So now that we have our slope and our y-intercept, we can write our equation of our line. So it's going to be y equals 4x plus 6. Okay, if you didn't get that, we're going to do this one more time. So it says, write the equation in slope-intercept form of a line parallel to this one. Okay, so if we want to get a line that's parallel to this one, we're going to have to find the slope. So our slope is m equals negative a over b. Okay, remember the a is the number being multiplied with the x, so negative 5 over, our b is the number being multiplied with the y, so negative 5 over 3. Okay, so now we have our slope, and now we have to find the y-intercept. So we have y equals mx plus b. And instead of y, we are going to plug in a negative 14. So I'm going to put here negative 14 equals, our slope is negative 5 over 3. The x is going to be 6. And then the b, we don't know what that is. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to go ahead and multiply negative 5 over 3 times 6. So the way that you do that is you do negative 5 times 6 is negative 30. And you divide it by 3. Okay, so you just have to multiply the 5 and the 6. And then plus b. Well, we know negative 30 divided by 3 gives us negative 10 plus b. And then we go ahead and move the negative 10 to the other side by adding a 10. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. This cancels. Negative 14 plus 10 will give us a negative 4. This is equal to b. And so now we have our our slope and our y-intercept. So we can go ahead and write our equation of our line. So y equals negative 5 over 3x. And since our b is negative, we write it as minus 4. And that's it. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.